While attention has been focused on the war in Israel for the last 6 weeks, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is urging the world not to forget about his country's struggle against Russia. Carolyn Shively has more on the story from Washington.
While the fighting continues in Israel and hostage negotiations play out, Ukraine is still in a fight for its life. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky knows his country's war with Russia is no longer top of mind.
It doesn't help us, but we understand that this is also a challenge for the world, Middle East, the situation in Middle East.
A recent AP NORC poll finds that 45% of Americans say the government is spending too much money on Ukraine. That opposition mainly comes from the right, and you see it playing out on Capitol Hill. House Republicans punted on the White House's massive supplemental request that would have set aside about $60 billion for Ukraine. Instead, Congress pushed through a stopgap spending bill without any more aid for the country.
He is coming to terms with much more pressure from across the political spectrum in the U.S. about pushing for a negotiated end to the conflict there.
Still, the Pentagon just announced it's sending Ukraine $100 million in weapons, including artillery and air defense munitions. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin traveled to Kyiv this week to reassure Ukrainian leadership of U.S. support.
This is about making sure that an autocrat cannot overrun his peaceful neighbor at will.
GOP leaders in the Senate say they're working over the Thanksgiving break on an aid package for Ukraine that could make it through the House before the next funding deadline in January. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.